Hare Krishna. So we continue our discussion on 8 treasures that Lord Chaitanya collected from different sampradayas. First we discussed the treasures that Lord Chaitanya accepted from which sampradaya? Brahma Madhva sampradaya. Yes, and which 2 treasures he collected from there? Defeat of Mayavad philosophy. Worship of the deity of Krishna. Very good. And the next we discussed which sampradaya? Ramanuja, Shri Ramanuja sampradaya. Yes, and what were the 2 treasures from this sampradaya? Pure devotional service. Yes. Sorry? Not from this. Service to the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava Seva. Yes. And then we discussed yesterday, we started to discuss which sampradaya? Rudra sampradaya, represented by Visnusvami. And the first treasure was, yesterday we discussed, dependence, complete dependence on the mercy of the Lord. Yes. Very good. You have very good memory. And now we will discuss the second treasure he collected from Rudra-Visnusvami sampradaya. And this is Raga Bhakti. Raga Bhakti. It's extremely important to understand Raga Bhakti, because Lord Chaitanya came especially to give Raga Bhakti. Raga means attachment, deep attachment. And therefore Krishna says, Raga dvesha vimuktestu vishayan indrayascharan atma bhashyar videyatma prasadamati gachati. That only those who can give up raga and the dvesha means aversion, can achieve mercy. But here we can see that we should develop raga. But in this verse from Bhagavad-gita that I quoted, this raga means material attachment, material affections. But here, this raga means attachment to Krishna, attachment to Krishna in Vrindavan especially. Yes, and of course, in the way of living in Vrindavan also, because Krishna is not separate from his environment and from his devotees and so on. So raga is often translated as spontaneous devotional service, Raga Bhakti. That means devotional service with attachment, great attachment. But we should know that Raga Bhakti is still sadhana bhakti. It's sadhana bhakti. That sadhana means that we practice devotional service, that we haven't attained perfection yet. And it is described tat bhavadi madhurye shruta dhirata pekshati natra shastrim na yuktim cha tat lobopati lakshanam. That in order to enter raga bhakti, we need to develop lobha. Lobha means greed. And of course, we say that lobha is one of the deadliest enemies of the living entity. But of course, this is lobha in this sense that his deadly enemy means material greed. But here we should develop spiritual lobha, spiritual greed for Krishna and his associates. Yes, and if such a greed for Krishna is not based on Shastra, that means that that we are not inspired for this greed by Shastra and logic, then it is proper lobha. But that doesn't mean that we don't follow Shastra. We should understand this. But our greed for Krishna is not impelled by Shastra, but because of greed itself for Krishna. Because we want Krishna so dearly, so intensely. We want to have a relationship with Krishna so intensely. Then it's called lobha, it's called greed. So how to attain such a greed? This is the question now, because we want to have this kind of greed because we want to develop love, deep attachment to Krishna. So how to attain this greed? You wanted to say something?
I understood that it was a question to us, sorry.
Yes, you can say.
Well, for me it has been by serving the deities, the greed for serving more, and the greed for being with them, and the greed for remembering them in the heart has increased.
Yes, definitely. We will discuss this. It is explained by Rupa Goswami that Krishna Tat Bhakta Karunya Matra Lobeka Khetuka Pushti Margataya Geshchit Iyam Raganugochate. That we can achieve this greed only by mercy. By mercy either of Krishna Tat Bhakta Karunya. Karunya means mercy. And Bhakta, of course, is a devotee, and Krishna is Krishna. Krishna Tat Bhakta Karunya Matra Lobeka Hetuka. Hetu means the cause. And the cause of this lobha, Lobeka Hetuka, is Karunya, mercy. Mercy. And therefore, often this path of raga is called the path of mercy. Yes, so we should strive for mercy. If we want lobha, or this greed, we should strive for mercy of Krishna and his devotees who have this lobha. So it is very important to understand in our sampradaya, which was brought by Srila Prabhupada to us, that this is the thing that we should strive for, that we should develop deep desire for. If we don't feel this lobha now, that means that we should desire to have such a lobha. And as Jayapataka Maharaj said, that if we don't have desire for such a lobha, we should have desire to have desire for such a lobha. And if we don't have desire to have desire for this lobha, we should have desire to have desire for this lobha. Yes, so somehow or other we should develop great desire, great hankering. And this is expressed by our acharyas. This lobha, when we read their poems, we can see how this lobha or this greed for Krishna is pouring from their hearts. And yes, so we should understand this. But this doesn't mean that we don't follow Shastra. We said that our greed is not based either on Shastra or logic, but it's pure greed for Krishna and for devotional service to Krishna in Vrindavan. And I wanted to stress that that doesn't mean that we don't follow Shastric rules. So this greed is something internal. It's not something external. Greed is something we feel in our heart. It's not something that is necessarily shown in this world. So we cultivate this greed internally, and we try to follow the residents of Vrindavan internally. But externally, we follow the tenets of Shastra. Yes, that means we engage in different types of devotional service, like hearing and chanting, remembering Krishna, Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padav Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam, Sakyam, Dasyam Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So we engage in different types of devotional service with full enthusiasm, as we discussed yesterday. That enthusiasm is the first prerequisite for devotional service and beneficial for devotion, that we should accept. One of the things is anukulyasya sankalpaha. It should be our firm determination in devotional service to have this enthusiasm, yes. So this is the point, that we should develop great greed, and it's not just developed, it's bestowed, as we explained, by mercy of Krishna and his devotees who have this greed. And we can see, we have already received this mercy in, we can say, because Srila Prabhupada gave us really quite Raganuga sadhana, if we are observant. For example, we start the day with Guru Ashtaka, and we sing how our Guru is engaged in intimate service of Radha and Krishna. And this is not the standard song in Gaudiya Math. So we should know that Prabhupada gave us this meditation, and he also established Tulsi Puja after Mangalarati, which is also full of deep longing for intimate service of Radha and Krishna. So, yes, this is important, that of course all acharyas, and Srila Prabhupada was no exception, they very much stress that we should not artificially enter these moods, or that we shouldn't ever imitate these moods of the residents of Vrindavan, but we should long for. And even this Radha Madhava that we sing before every class is also full of this loving mood for Radha and Krishna. We start to sing Jai Radha Madhava. Yes, Jai Radha Madhava. So it's important to know that we shouldn't be afraid to have this greed. Yes, because this is the main thing that was brought by Lord Chaitanya. And if we miss this, Lord Chaitanya comes only once in 8 billion 640 million years. Only once in the day of Brahma. Yes. And there is night of Brahma, and that is altogether 8 billion 640 million years. This is extremely long period. So, if we miss it now, who knows when we'll get the opportunity again. Yes. So, we shouldn't miss it. Yeah. We shouldn't miss it. We should have this understanding. I shouldn't miss it. I should be extremely serious in my devotional service. I shouldn't miss that opportunity. Yes. In other Kali Yugas, that means every 4 million years, this is quite, it's not such a long time. It's still very long time. From our perspective, extremely long time, 4 million years. But from this perspective of 8 billion 640 million years, it's nothing, 4 million years. So every 4 million years, Lord Chaitanya comes, but not the original Lord Chaitanya. Original Lord Chaitanya comes only once in the day of Brahma. That means 8 billion 640 million years. Yes, and in other Kali Yugas, the same process is given, chanting of the holy names, but not with this lobha for Radha and Krishna. Yes, for to develop this love of residents of Vrindavan. So this is explained in Ragavartma Chandrika by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that there are 5 different activities in devotional service and that can be performed. And first is Nija Bhishta Bhava Maya. That means that we are full of this mood that we want to achieve. And that means quite beneficial for developing this mood. That means that we are in the same mood is menial service. For example, if we clean the temple, wash the floor, we can meditate. Yes, I'm cleaning for Krishna's pleasure. Yes, because in Vrindavan, they don't need lecturers. They need someone who wipes the floor to make garland for Radha and Krishna. Yes, such menial services are very beneficial for developing this mood. To enter this mood, actually, not just for developing this mood. To develop this intense greed, it's the second type of activities, Nija Bhishta Bhava Sambandhi. Sambandhi means to connect. And for example, hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is very important. It's crucial. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We should always hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. In association of those devotees who have greed for Krishna. Yes. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We should always read Srimad Bhagavatam and hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the devotees. And so when we come to the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, we should start again and again and again. Never stop. And not just Srimad Bhagavatam, also Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's very beneficial for developing this greed. Again and again and again. That doesn't mean that when we read all Srimad Bhagavatam, all Chaitanya Charitamrita, that we make a tick. Yes, I have read. I can say in the devotee association, I have read this and this book. No. We should go deep. We should go very deep in our devotional service. If we stay on the surface and if our devotional service is shallow, we'll never develop this greed for Krishna. Never. It's not automatic. It's not mechanical process. It's Krishna consciousness process. We should understand this. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada named this movement as Krishna consciousness movement. It's not mechanical process to attain Krishna movement. But it's Krishna consciousness movement. Yes. We should always have this in mind. Nothing happens mechanically. Shri Panchatattva ki jai. Nitai Gaur Pramanande. The deities become so ecstatic that they appear. Yes. So, it's important to understand this, that it should be our meditation, it should be our longing, it should be our craving for this. Nothing will happen automatically, nothing will happen mechanically. Yes. Therefore, it's so important this association we keep. It's stressed again and again and again. Avoid association that's not beneficial for your devotional service. And keep association that is beneficial for your devotional service. Again and again and again. Is stress this. Yes. And then, of course, Bhava Sambandhi is that connects us to our mood is chanting of the holy names. Chanting of the holy names. Because Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Punna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binatvam Nama Namino. Krishna and his holy name are not different. So when we chant the holy names, we are directly associating with Krishna. So when we chant, we should completely devote ourselves to chanting. If we don't, then we'll never go deep in our chanting. Impossible. Impossible. So all distractions should be avoided. We should switch our phone, put it in another room, and lock it. No sound should come from our phone, because the phone is the ultimate distractor in Kali Yuga. Yes. So we shouldn't be distracted, or we shouldn't talk to other people when we chant. Yes. We may see many times that devotees chant and talk and scrolling on their phones and do many things during chanting. But such chanting will not take us to Raga Bhakti. Will not take us to greed for Krishna, because it's offensive, and offensive chanting cannot help us. So we should avoid offenses by all means. And the origin of all offenses is to be distracted. is not to concentrate on the holy name. So our full attention should be on the holy name. And we should go very deep, very deep, very deep in chanting. It's our only hope, actually, chanting of the holy names. In Kali Yuga, there is no other way. Kalo nasti eva, nasti eva, nasti eva gatiranata. So we should go deep in the holy name. We should cry for the mercy of the holy name. When Guru Govinda Maharaj opened a temple in Orissa, he said that he opened a school for crying. So, yes, it's so important that we understand that we are completely helpless. I'm helpless. It's not in my power to develop this greed. It's not in my power to go deep in the holy name. No, it's not in our power. It's only by mercy. But we have to have this ardent desire to receive such mercy. Yes. And if we don't go deep in our chanting with this desire, please, Krishna, make this desire in my heart. Let this desire awakens in my heart. Please help me. I'm helpless. I have no power. Yes, if we have this mood, we can go deep. Otherwise, if we just want to finish our rounds, we will finish them. And they will be finished. And that's it. It's good for the beginning. But we should not stop at just finishing our rounds. We should go deep. Yes, it's so important. And it's the only means that we can connect with this desire, connect deeply with Krishna. Chanting of the holy names. On our japa depends on our life. Also, our kirtan meditation depends on the quality of our japa. We cannot go deep into the kirtan without going deep into our japa. Yes, then it will be one kind of entertainment kirtan. Or again, just a duty. A boring thing. Depends on the one who leads the kirtan. No. We shouldn't depend on the leader of the kirtan. We should try to connect with Krishna in chanting the holy name. Yes. In japa and in kirtan. So yes, this is very important. Then there are nija bhishta bhava anukula. Anukula means favorite. We discussed this word before. And it often appears, as we can see, to perform services that are favorable for our devotional service. And this that means, of course, serving Tulasi Devi is such a thing that is favorable for our devotional service. Or fasting on Ekadashis is favorable for developing this greed. Yes, because it is the means to to go deeper in our meditation, to have more time for our meditation. Fasting on Ekadashi. This is stressed by our acharya, how important it is to fast on Ekadashis. Yes, even Lord Chaitanya instructed his mother to fast on Ekadashis. Yes. So, if the mother of the Lord was advised to fast on Ekadashi, what to speak of us. So yes, she was advised by Lord himself. So we should follow Ekadashis very enthusiastically. Yes. And then our Nija Bhishta Bhava Aviruddha, the activities that don't go against our desired mood. That is reading of other scriptures, like Bhagavad-Gita doesn't go against our desired mood, or Puranas, they don't go against our desired mood if we read them. Yes. But then there are activities that go against our mood. Nija Bhishta Bhava Viruddha. Yes. And that should be avoided if we want to develop this greed for Raga Bhakti. And these are, for example, meditating and worshipping queens of Dwaraka. Yes. Because this is against Vraja mood. Yes. So we should know what is, and showing different mudras is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that is against our desired mood. Yes. So we should know what is beneficial and what is not beneficial for developing this greed. And what is entering into this greed. Yes. So it's really important if we want to take advantage of the movement of Lord Chaitanya. And then we should also have proper tattva jnana. Tattva means understanding of absolute truth. And that means Krishna in Vrindavan, his pastimes are just sweet. Sweet. But we should know what is sweetness, definition of sweetness. That doesn't mean that Lord Krishna doesn't exhibit his Aishwarya in Vrindavan. He exhibits. What are the examples of his Aishwarya in Vrindavan? This is a question for you.
Very strong and lifted Govardhan Hill.
Yes, for example, he lifts Govardhan Hill with his little finger on his left hand. This is one example of showing Aishwarya in Vrindavan. And killing of demons, it's also showing Aishwarya. And for example, he showed different Vishnu forms to Lord Brahma, also in Vrindavan. It's also exhibition of Aishwarya, of great powers of God. This is Aishwarya, of His Majesty. But where is sweetness then? His sweetness is that he never violates the human mood. He always stays in his human mood. For example, when Putana, who was extremely ferocious witch, she came to kill Krishna when Krishna was just newborn baby. She came there to Vrindavan to kill him, sent by Kamsa. And she smeared her breasts with deadly poison. And she was so beautiful that everyone allowed her to go to Krishna. Even Mother Yashoda and Rohini, they didn't protest. And especially men were very much charmed by her feminine beauty. And when she came to Krishna, Krishna remained a small baby. And she was able even to perceive that this child can destroy the universe. She was able to perceive this. Although Krishna didn't change his form. So he stayed in his own form, but she was able to perceive it. But in her stupidity, she wanted to kill such a powerful personality. And she lifted him to her lap, and gave him her breast to suck, as with motherly love. And Krishna was so angry at her that he sucked, along with the milk, also her life. Yes. And in this way he killed her, but he didn't change his form for this purpose. He remained in his human-like form, baby-like form, although he exhibited extreme power. Yes. And then, when he was 3 months old, this great whirlwind came. Yes. And it was so powerful that everyone in Vrindavan couldn't see anything. It was dust storm. Yes. And Krishna first exhibited his Aishwarya. How? In this case, do you remember? Yes, he became extremely heavy in his mother's lap. So his mother couldn't hold him any longer, and put him down. Yes. And then this whirlwind came, and Krishna became light as a feather again. And he was brought to the sky, and then he became as being afraid, and clutched around the neck of this demon very, very strongly. So this demon started to suffocate. Yes, because small baby is afraid. If you lift the baby very high, he becomes afraid. So Krishna became afraid, and clutched his little fingers around the neck of this demon and just killed him in such a way. Yes. So Krishna remained in his form as a little baby, little child, and also in other pastimes that he exhibited, as when you mentioned lifting Govardhan hill, he remained in his childlike form. He didn't change his form to lift the hill. So his sweetness mood was not violated. And this loving mood of the residents of Vrindavan is so strong that even when they see Lord Krishna exhibit this Aishwarya, their love for Krishna is not shaken. For example, even Devaki and Vasudeva from Mathura, their love for Krishna, although he's their own child, was shaken. And they said, "We are not your parents. You are the Supreme Lord and we are just your servants." But this was never the case in Vrindavan. Yes. Although they saw that, especially when Krishna lifted the hill, that he's not ordinary child, because everyone was under before, when he was killing these demons, they thought it's just the Lord protected our innocent child, somehow or other. But when Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, everyone saw that Krishna is not an ordinary child. And when Maharaj Nanda was taken to Varuna, Krishna went and saved Maharaj Nanda. And Maharaj Nanda was personally witnessing how Varuna, one of the greatest demigods, is worshipping Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Yes, and he told all the Vrajavasis, yes, Krishna is worshipped by all the demigods as the Supreme. Yes. So, although they knew that Krishna is not ordinary child, that is some special personality, and even we discussed somewhere else. We discussed in France how even the residents of Vrindavan, in separation from Krishna, they are aware that Krishna is God. Yes, but although they are aware that Krishna is God, never their loving mood for Krishna is violated. Yes, they always consider themselves as friends of Krishna, as parents of Krishna, as lovers of Krishna. Yes, this is important to understand. And Krishna is so absorbed in this playing mood of Vrindavan that he himself also forgets that he's God. So when they are together, Krishna and his devotees, and Krishna is always with his devotees, with some set of devotees or another set of devotees. He's never alone. He's so absorbed in these loving moods that he forgets that he's the Lord. Yes. But devotees, when they are separated, they understand this. And it is explained that separation from Krishna is like scorching sun, rays of scorching sun. And everything is revealed in the rays of scorching sun. So everyone knows what is Krishna's position in separation. But meeting with Krishna is soothing like rays of the moon, of the full moon. And so it's so pleasing that everyone forgets that Krishna is the Lord. Krishna himself forgets that he's the Lord. Yes. So the point is that no one with this mood of Aishwarya can enter Vrindavan. No one. So, because we are not on this platform, we should develop greed, this lobha, strong lobha for this greed, for this mood of Vrindavan. Without this lobha, or great greed, we can never, ever enter Vrindavan. Yes, we will have Aishwarya mood then. Yes. And that's it. It cannot be changed. It is like this. Therefore, we were taught by our acharyas that this greed is the only price we can pay. Yes. So, I invite you to go deep, especially in chanting of the holy names. To go deep in chanting of the holy names. Yes. Hare Krishna. Do you have any questions or comments? Yes, please.
Thank you for think how is better to fast? Like I think Prabhupada was telling don't eat beans and
Grains.
yeah, is it okay like this, or do you think better to
Vedas
on water or
Vedas have always different levels uh, for different personalities of following some injunctions. So, the original injunction for following Ekadashi is to um, abstain from food and water completely, and to keep vigilance overnight. That means that we stay awake overnight and glorify Krishna. And that we shouldn't sleep either during the night or during the day. This is full observance of Ekadashi. But if you are not able to follow such Ekadashi, you can sleep over the night, not over the day. But if you cannot take full fast, you can drink little water. But if you cannot fast only with water, you can take something very simple, fruits and roots, along with little water. And if you are not able to follow such Ekadashi with just little fruits, you can take prasadam, but without grains and beans. Yes. So, but also in this case, you shouldn't sleep over the day, or overeat, just to eat to keep our body and soul together, that we don't suffer too much, that we don't divert our consciousness away from Krishna to our suffering stomach. You understand? The purpose of Ekadashi is to remember Krishna, to devote ourselves to Krishna. And even if we have complete fast and we don't sleep during the night, the purpose is to remember Krishna, to engage in devotional service, not to engage in some nonsense activities. Yes. So this is the explanation. Is okay? Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
I'm wondering about Rudra Sampradaya. I heard quite much about other three Sampradayas, but not so much about Rudra Sampradaya. Where are they seated, and what is their goal, sadhya, and how raga is in their this tradition showing?
Yes. Raga Bhakti, as explained here, is of course not full Raga Bhakti as we have, but it's loving attachment to Vrindavan mood. And we'll explain this special cravings of Gaudiya Vaishnavas in our next two classes about Nimbarka Sampradaya. So I must admit that I also don't know much details of Rudra Sampradaya. Visnusvami is the representative of Rudra Sampradaya. And yes, this mercy of Lord Shiva on the Vaishnavas, because Shiva has many different roles. One is to come as Shankaracharya, to divert intelligence of atheists away from bhakti. but I don't know many details. Maharaj, can you tell us something? Or anyone?
Because do they propagate also this Raga Bhakti? I didn't hear it since it's only Lord Chaitanya's
Contribution.
Raga, and they have Raga too, which
Yes, they have. And Nimbarka Sampradaya also, you will see in next two classes. They have. But they also have this Svakiya understanding of Vrindavan also. That means merit mood to Krishna, of the gopis, of Radharani. But we have this pure Parakiya understanding. It's unmarried love for Radha and Krishna. Yes.
But can it be that some devotees who became attracted by ISKCON are not so much into this particular mood, like Lord Chaitanya, some associates, there were like Rama's devotees, or
Yes.
maybe Jagannath Pandit, he was is queen, and still, can it be that in ISKCON not everybody is attracted just by Raga Bhakti?
Of course. Of course. This is the path that Lord Chaitanya gave. And the mood he recommended to everyone. But of course we know that Murari Gupta, for example, was Hanuman in his previous life, and he was instructed by Lord Chaitanya to meditate on Krishna, to chant the Krishna's names. And he tried very hard because Lord Chaitanya was his Lord and Master. But he couldn't. Whenever he chanted Lord Krishna's names, Lord Ram appeared to him in his meditation. And because he couldn't follow Lord Chaitanya's instruction, he wanted to kill himself. But then Lord Chaitanya pacified him and explained that, yes, I'm very satisfied with your fidelity to Lord Ram. But there is another instance when Lord Chaitanya was traveling in South India. He also met Ram Bhakta, who was chanting the holy name of Lord Ram from his birth. But when he met Lord Chaitanya, he started to chant Hare Krishna. Yes, and he said that from the moment I have met you, the name of Ram changed into the name of Krishna. And I cannot help myself, just chant Krishna's name. Yes, so, and I can see that you're this same Krishna from Vrindavan. So, there are different instances. Of course, this is the path, the highest possible perfection. But that doesn't mean that some devotees are in other mood. And this is perfectly okay, because spirit is free, as we explained in some lecture. Spirit is free. We can do whatever we like. We can strive for something, whatever we like. We can develop whatever mood we like, because it's even in material life we can develop any mood we like. Even we can develop different bodies according to our consciousness, state of consciousness. Yes. So it is explained in third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tvam bhakti-yoga paribhavita hrit saroja aseshu tikshita pato nanonata pumsam Yat yad diyata urgai vibhavayanti tatat vapuh pranayasi satanugraha. Whatever our desired relationship with the Lord is, that we can achieve. And Lord will respond in the same way. And he himself also explains this in Bhagavad-gita. Ye yatamam prapadante tams tataiva prajamyaham. Mamam vartmanu vartante manushyak varta sarvasha. In whatever way we approach the Lord, Lord responds. Yes. So we are free. Spirit is free to develop whatever mood we like. And there is no force on anyone. So if one wants to develop Ram Bhakti, he's free to develop Ram Bhakti. But if you want to develop this Raga Bhakti for Radha and Krishna, we are free to do this. And not just free, we are invited to do this. This unique opportunity in unlimited lifetimes. So we shouldn't miss it. We shouldn't miss it. Yes.
You tell about Vrindavan that there are no Ashwarya mood, isn't it? I understand right?
I said Lord Krishna exhibits Aishwarya, but doesn't violate his sweetness. That means that he always stays in his human-like mood. He doesn't change his form. For example, in Dvaraka, when Rukmini lost her consciousness because Krishna was teasing her, she fell unconscious on the floor. And Krishna immediately lifted her up and manifested 4 hands. If you remember. So, yes. But in Vrindavan, he remained always in this human-like mood, although he exhibited his powers. He didn't violate his human-like mood. Is this okay?
I just didn't finish question, sorry.
Oh yes, sorry.
So, where in ISKCON, in communities ISKCON, we can find Ashwarya mood? Because I think I have more like this mood in the world. So I'd like to visit and see how is it. Like maybe in Mayapur, maybe in Jagannath-pur, it's more like we can feel it. Or maybe in Germany where Nishimha Chalan.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell.
And what is the question?
So where in ISKCON communities and temples we can see more like Ashwarya mood?
It depends on your consciousness. So yes, we can connect to Aishwarya mood. But we can also connect with Audarya mood. Here is Audarya, because Lord Chaitanya means the mood of mercy. Audarya mood. And also Madhurya mood. Because we have many beautiful deities of Radha and Krishna. For example, on Saturday I visited Krishna's garden. There are beautiful deities of Radha and Krishna. So they're very instrumental, such beautiful deities, for developing our loving mood. So yes, as I said, we are free to develop whichever mood we would like to have. So, and then our eyes will be smeared by our desire. So we'll see that everyone is in Aishwarya mood. And if we develop the other mood, we'll see, yes, majority is in this mood, and majority is in that mood. So, depends on our consciousness, eyes will see like this. And we can go deep in our desired mood. We are not forced to embrace any mood. It depends on our desire, on our heart. So, yes, this is spirit. Spirit is free, but we should get out of illusion, of material illusion, with identifying with matter. Then we can be eternally free, even if we are still in material world. Yes. Yes, please.
You said that Krishna is not leaving the human life for the Dharma. Wouldn't you say that when he left the Rasa land and the Gopas were searching for him, and he prepared 4 hours for him, and then they, for some short while, and then
Yes, yes,
assumed this 2 hour for him.
yes, exactly. But this was a play. This was just to hide from the gopis, actually. This was his lila, sweet lila, to hide from the gopis. He turned his form into 4 arms, Narayan, and gopis couldn't recognize him. They prayed to him as to the Almighty Lord, please tell us where is Krishna. So the Lord himself was standing before them, and they weren't interested in God himself. They asked him, please tell us where is Krishna. Yes, this should be our mood. We are not interested in God himself. We are interested in Krishna, in Radha and Krishna. Yes. So this was his pastime.
Isn't it so that Srila Prabhupada said that actually when we worship Radha Krishna, we worship them in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan?
Yes.
Yeah, it should be the mood, not that we immediately, oh Radha, oh Krishna.
Yes, because it's not cheap.
Yeah.
We should understand this. This is not cheap. Because if we take it cheaply, then we'll destroy our possibility to enter this mood. Then we'll pretend this Raga Bhakti, and this is of course detrimental for our spiritual development. Then we'll have this Sahaja mood instead of real deep love, or deep longing even. For example, it can be quickly misunderstood, the proper mood. Many Matajis, for example, want to be beautiful, and they put makeup, eyeliners, and lipstick, and so on. And they say it's for Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure. But we know if we prepare offering for Krishna, we cover it, just that no one would enjoy this bhoga. It's meant just for Krishna's pleasure. So when Srimati Radharani leaves her palace to go to Nandagram to cook for Krishna, if she meets other people, she covers herself. She doesn't want anyone to see her, except her friends. So, if we are really trying to satisfy Krishna by our beauty, we cover ourselves before the vision of other people. But if we just say it's for Krishna's pleasure, but we exhibit our beauty to other people, it's wrong mentality. This is sahaja mood then. Understand? So we should have this proper understanding. As long as we don't develop this greed, we should worship Radha and Krishna as Lakshmi Narayan. Therefore, this greed is the only entrance into Vrindavan mood. Without this lobha, no one can enter. We can say, yes, I'm worshipping Radha and Krishna. But if we worship Radha and Krishna with this Aishwarya mentality, they change into Lakshmi Narayan. Themselves. Yes.
But isn't lobha needed also if somebody is striving to achieve Lakshmi Narayana's
No.
service?
No.
Why? Without desiring?
We can have desire, and basic desire is expressed by our following rules and regulations and chanting the holy names and so on. But it's not prerequisite to enter into spiritual world. This lobha. No, we should just. It is as we explained, pure devotional service. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadi navritam anukulyena krishna anushilanam bhakti ruttama. By the pure devotional service, we can enter spiritual world. Vaikuntha, planets. No problem. But not Vrindavan. Even by pure devotional service. Without this greed, we cannot enter.
When Lord Krishna appeared, then he demanded surrender. And then he came as Lord Caitanya to free the love, pure love of God.
Yes.
So when you explain now that it's very rare when it's greed and so on, that you really have to surrender. So can you explain that?
Yes, it seems contradictory. Yes. As Krishna, in his Dvaraka mood, ordered surrender when he was a charioteer of Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. Surrender only to me. And then Lord Chaitanya came and he taught us how to surrender to Krishna. And that we should especially surrender to Krishna through this lobha, through this greed to attain him, not by our intelligence or by the instruction of Shastra. Yes. But that doesn't mean that we don't follow Shastra. We should always have this in mind. We follow Shastra. Otherwise, it is explained in Shruti Smriti Purana Di Pancharatra Vidim Vina. Aikantiki Harir Bhaktir Utpata Yeva Kalpate. Even so-called devotional service, Aikantiki Bhakti, one point in devotional service, if it is not by following Shastra, is just disturbance. It's not devotional service, in fact. So yes, we should follow instructions of Shastra, but with this greed to attain Radha and Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya gave this process. of mercy. Yes. But we should develop this greed. And as we said, it's by mercy achievable. But we have received mercy of Srila Prabhupada. He gave us this process. I just explained in this class, it's a very raga-nuga process. Yes, especially morning program. So I invite everyone to come regularly to Mangalarati. It's packed. This is most potent program. Yes, given by Srila Prabhupada just to receive this greed, if we understand what we sing. If it just becomes mechanical ritual, then it will remain mechanical ritual for the rest of eternity. Yes. So it shouldn't be mechanical ritual, it should be meditation. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol. Please accept my humble base.